Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Harley Quinn Season 3, Episode 5. It's a swamp thing, and I'm going to add baby to the end of that. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well, please. Also, if you feel like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. Go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages as well. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Give you enough time to run away. All that stuff. Good. All righty. So, of course, we have the search for Frank continues at this point, and Ivy, of course, is trying to figure out who stole Frank, who kidnapped Frank, and of course, she's trying to do this by entering the green. Now, for those of you who don't know what the green is, and I've talked about this before in other iterations of Swamp Thing and also Poison Ivy and all that kind of stuff. The green is a supernatural source. Basically, it's the connection between all living things. It's usually associated with Swamp Thing and his world and all that kind of stuff. And Ivy's having a problem connecting at this point. But they have another problem close at hand here is that a couple of months prior, Harley and Ivy had actually made plans to hang out with Nora Freeze, the widow of Mr. Freeze, Dr. Freeze, if you will, and basically to hang out with her and console her or whatever, or have a girls' night kind of thing. And Nora Freeze has been going on a wild child mission. She's basically been screwing things, drinking, all kinds of stuff, except grieving for the last 6 months since Victor died. So, Ivy says, basically they need to go to New Orleans to talk to Swamp Thing, even though they had a falling out. And that's the only way she's going to be able to get into the green is by talking to Swamp Thing. So, of course, it's a girls' trip down to New Orleans. And of course, as soon as they get off the plane, what does Nora do at the airport? She flashes for some beads, and some weird stuff ensues. In the meantime, all of this is happening. Catwoman wants to get away from Bruce for a little bit, wants to have her own me time. So she decides to leave the manor and go back to her place and kicks King Shark out so that, she can have a little me time in there, which I'm having a feeling that Cyborgman is still within her electronics. So he might have some photos of her, in the bath and all that kind of stuff. So we might see something later on here. But more on that in a minute. We go back over to New Orleans and we meet up. They're trying to find out where Swamp Thing is. So they end up going to all these sleazy dive bars and stuff like that. And speaking of sleazy dives, they run into John Constantine for those of you British people out there. And my friend Catherine wants to be in on that as well. I'm sorry, but that's just fucking the whole Neil Gaiman thing. Anyway, Matt Ryan, of course, is voicing Constantine at this one. And he basically tells Poison Ivy, if you can beat me in drinks, I'll tell you where Swamp Thing is. Blackout later, they find out where Swamp Thing is, and Nora's already there. She's in the swamp. She's already had sex with Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing has his man bun going, and yeah. And Swamp Thing thinks that him and Nora are a couple. They are not, or boyfriend and girlfriend. And she's like, no, you're just fun, is what it is, which prompts a tantrum. And he gets basically causes a tempest, if you will. And it's a cathartic thing. It's him working through his issues. Ivy realizes that she needs to work through her issues, and Harley plays it off that since she's a psychiatrist, she knew this is what Ivy needed all along, and kind of rolls with it and says, "Now you're unblocked, and now you can enter the green." And I love what Ivy says. Actually, the one thing she said was, you know, this whole "I had the power inside me all along" is just bullshit kind of thing, which I agree with. I fucking hate those kind of stories when they were like, "The power was within you all along. All you needed to do is tap your shoes 3 times together." And anyway, yeah. That's just bullshit thinking at that point. So, she's able to enter the green. She sees that Frank is strapped down to a table. She sees a face, but she can't see who it is, and then we see the face is actually Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is the one who has actually captured Frank and is trying to find out what Ivy has done to augment him. Because, of course, Batman needs to find out how Ivy is going to destroy the city. Before all of that happened, before we see the reveal, um, Alfred drugs both Catwoman and Batman, or Bruce and Selina, and puts them into couples therapy with Music Meister. And Music Meister makes them sing it out and what's going on. And Bruce doesn't want to be alone. Catwoman does want to be alone. And yeah, they have their own differences of how they want stuff to go. And are they breaking up? We don't really know. It didn't seem like there was a resolution to that. So not really sure. Most likely they are breaking up, especially since Bruce bought her the weird gift of 2 Persian cats named Martha and Thomas, and then, of course, dresses them up like his parents. So, yeah. Was this episode great? No, not really. As you can tell by my recanting of it, of what's going on there, it wasn't the best of episodes. It was a serviceable episode. It got us to see where Frank is. That Batman, of course, is finding out what the fuck Poison Ivy is doing at this point. Swamp Thing with the man bun thing was kind of funny for a second, and then it was just like, whatever. The beignet thing got old really, really fast, really did. And the only thing that was actually kind of funny was the whole Nora Freeze thing with her, knowing that she was actually acting out and needing a catharsis, if you will, to finally get over, or not get over, but get through her grief of her husband and kind of work her way through it. So, yeah. But Frank is still screwed because he's tied to a table, and Bruce Wayne is, of course, experimenting on him. And that's where we leave off on this episode. So, Ivy, I guess, does know where he's at now, and they're going to go after him. So they're going to go and try and get Frank back. Oh, in the meantime, also Clayface is taking over Billy Bob Thornton's role as Thomas Wayne and has been posing as Billy Bob and learning his lines and busy acting at this point. So, and no mention of King Shark's double penises again in this episode, thankfully. Penn says I was happy to see Constantine. Didn't they called him Constantine too, if I remember. So I'm okay with that, with them calling him Constantine in this episode. I gotta go back. Connie, that's right. They called him Connie. That's right. So yeah. That was pretty funny. Yeah, like I said, wasn't the best episode. Last week's episode was funny, I have to admit. And the week before that, um the 83rd annual Philly Awards, I think that was my high watermark on that one, was the 83rd Philly Awards. But yeah, this one was serviceable, but again, we have 13 episodes in this season, and again, I hope this is not a victim of what's going on with Zaslav, slashing and burning most of HBO Max shows. I don't think it will be, because I think this is it. They put up on the Warner Brothers studio lot. they actually have the billboard up, like the main billboard when you first drive in is the Harley Quinn banner of Ivy and her swinging on a swing with all this flora and fauna with King Shark and Clayface, popping their heads out of that as well. So yeah, all of that is there. That's a huge billboard that's on the Warner Brothers studio lot. With that there, I'm fairly sure they're safe, but we don't know for sure. I'm hoping that's the case. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be the return of Resident Alien. Yes, I know it showed out, that it was played last night, but I'm moving it to Fridays where it's going to go. Saturday is going to be Is It Worth My Time? Sandman season 1 on Netflix. That's what I'm doing on Saturday afternoon. Sunday is going to be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. Monday will be Westworld. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I believe it's going to be Lock and Key. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see how far I get into it. Oh shit! Actually, no, it is going to be Tuesday because next. Oh my God, that's going to be a hard one there. So, yes, Tuesday will be episode of Is It Worth My Time? Lock and Key season 3, the final season. And Wednesday I'll be off. Thursday will be, I think, a double header of Harley Quinn and She-Hulk. I believe She-Hulk is going to take precedent at the moment. I'm going to flip She-Hulk into the first spot and Harley Quinn into the second spot. That's where we're going to be at that point. I had to just look at that. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, Penn. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'll just say right now, Sandman, you can, you don't have to watch the whole thing. Yeah. So take a look over at suspendedfanimation.com. You'll see the schedule up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. Also, if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms, all the stuff you've been watching, and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. I'm closing in on 1,000 videos, so I'm getting there. And if you can, hit that subscribe button down there. And if you can, hit that like and the share button as well. I want to thank everyone who joined me today in the chat. Well, I think it's just Penn right now. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. I will see you guys again tomorrow for Resident Alien. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may try and enter the green, but all you'll just find is beignets and coffee. And it's usually from a startup from some guys who just ran an algorithm on how to make the best beignet, but it really isn't the best beignets. You want to go to Cafe Du Monde. Anyway, thanks everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care. Wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. They don't work without the boosters. And stay safe out there, everyone. Thanks. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Take care, everyone. Good night.